Tax me more. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett just revealed how much money he made last year. He made more than $62 million. Buffett is the inspiration behind President Obama's proposal to raise taxes on the wealthiest Americans. Buffett claims that it's the patriotic duty of the rich to pay more in taxes. Well, here's an idea. How about a checkoff box on income tax forms for people to voluntarily pay more? That idea is being proposed by Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise, who joins us from the D.C. Bureau. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning. Good to be with you.
You make a good point. Why change the rules for everybody? If one guy wants to pay more, let that guy check it off on his income tax.
That's exactly right. You know, what this says is if you feel like you're not sending in Washington, then put your money where your mouth is and send in more. But don't go change the tax rules to hurt all of our small business owners and families out there who are struggling during tough times.
Okay. What is the reaction to your Buffett rule, Ben?
It's been really positive. You know, people like the idea because it's a very different approach than the president's. The president wants to just go out and raise taxes more, send more money to Washington, when the problem in Washington is that Washington spends too much money. You don't solve that problem by sending Washington even more money to spend.
Sure. And didn't we hear from the president himself, Congressman? He said, you know, the last thing you want to do during a recession is raise taxes on people.
Yeah, and the president said that just last year. He said, if you raise taxes, it's actually going to hurt the economy. And yet here comes the president with another proposal to raise even more taxes and hurt the economy and impede our ability to create jobs. So what I'm saying is, look, let's create the environment to create jobs. Let's make sure that we've got a fair tax code. You don't do that by soaking people even more and sending more money to Washington where they're just going to use it to spend. This says, let's pay down the debt. If folks like Warren Buffett want to send more money in, let them have that option voluntarily.
Sure.
Just don't go change the tax code to raise taxes on everybody else.
So Congressman, we just showed a graphic a minute ago that had just a little checkoff box. If you would like to go ahead and donate some more money to presumably the general fund, that, you know, we've depicted it right there to make it, you know, mock it up.
Right.
So that it might
look
like
but
that.
This would
How would it
specifically.
work, though?
It would be a checkoff box on the tax form, and it would allow you to fill in the amount if Warren Buffett wanted to send in $1 billion. But specifically, the amount that would be spent in would be used to pay down the national debt, not to grow the size of the federal government. So again, a different approach than the president.
Sure.
We want to pay down the debt. We don't want to grow government. It's already too big up here.
Right. Realistically, though, I mean, we just heard a couple of minutes ago a joke from Jay Leno talking about how many people would actually do it. They would probably raise $75 next year or something like that. How many people do you think would actually check off, yeah, I'm not paying enough, I need to pay more?
Well, you know, and this exposes the hypocrisy. You know, if there are people running around saying they're not sending in enough money to Washington, then let them put their money where their mouth is. If they really got too much money in their pockets and they feel like they need to send more to Washington, it gives them that option. But it does it on a voluntary basis. It doesn't change the entire tax code in a way that actually hurts our ability to create jobs.
Well, let me say on behalf of a lot of taxpayers, Congressman, I think we pay you guys enough. Not you. Forget about your pay. We send enough money to Washington the way it is.
Absolutely. We need to be reducing the size of government and creating jobs, not hurting our job creators.
We do need some jobs. All right. Steve Scalise, good job. Thank you very much for joining us live today from
Thanks.
DC.
Great to be with you.
All right. All right. What do you think about that? Good idea? Do you think Warren Buffett would actually take him up on that? Email us, friends@fox.